Hi everyone. Thursday, April 3rd. What another gorgeous day here in Lithuania. I'll turn the camera off of me. Absolutely gorgeous day. I think it's probably about plus 13, plus 14 right now. Oh, we got a car coming. Just out for a little walk. I got a small break, very small break, but I'll hold up till they get by. But I've been, with the nice weather, I've been crazy busy trying to get the yard and garden back in order. I'm still working on scraping the moss off my bricks. I didn't finish that last fall. If any of you happen to have seen a previous video about all that, but I'll give you a little more detail on that maybe in the next video. But I'll come back to the weather, but the main thing I wanted to talk about right now is my YouTube channel. More to the point, I am stunned and amazed. I think I'm up to 13 subscribers. Of those 13, I'm pretty sure I personally know probably 6 or 7 of them, but I'm not sure about the others. Maybe I picked up a subscriber that isn't either a friend or a relative, but that's good. But also my most recent video, or video that I put out last weekend, and I don't check things every day, once or twice a week, but I checked it on Sunday and I think I had 30 views, which I was really happy with. I checked, I think this morning, and it was up to 80 views. I'm absolutely stunned and amazed. So I think for the most part, you know, it's just friends and family that watch my videos and subscribe just to give me some moral support. And again, I don't want anybody to feel obligated to watch any of my videos, but of those 80 viewers, I'm sure there's some people in there that I don't know. So here's my request. If you could let me know, just put something in the comments, or I'll put my email address in the subtext. Just shoot me an email if you are watching my videos and you're not a friend or family. I'd be curious to see where you're from, but I promise I won't abuse your email address or sell it to some junk email site. But all I can do is say thank you to everybody that watches my videos. If you haven't seen my first videos, or if you're a recent person that's watching my videos, you may want to go back and watch video 1. I'm not trying to get more views, but it'll give you a better understanding of why I started this channel. Again, a lot of you may be wondering, what is he doing? What is that channel about? Channel is just about my life. It's really just more of like a video blog or a video diary. But again, thanks to everybody that watches. You know, on the one hand, I'd like to say I don't really care if I get views or subscribers, but in reality, I do. It's nice to see. Again, I don't make any money off of YouTube, but it's rewarding to see that somebody took the time to see what goes on in my life. But enough about that. I think I've got a mishmash, kind of a potpourri of clips in this week's video. I think the main segment will be about what I'm calling an ATV trail fail. I'll show that later on in this video, but what started out to be a pretty leisurely, non-eventful ATV ride turned into something else. Back to the weather. It's been gorgeous all week, including last weekend. We've been between like 10 and 15 degrees during the day. Some pretty frosty mornings, but it warms up quick. That's gonna change this weekend. I think the forecast is for, you know, 2 above during the day and maybe 3 or 4 below at night. So I'm gonna have to cover up some hydrangeas. Yeah, sorry about the wind, guys. Maybe I better turn around. So again, I got to cover up some hydrangeas, and we've got a magnolia tree that we planted last year. Last year we only had, I think, 3 flowers on it. This year it's really flowering nice. I think there was a picture of it at the beginning of this video, but those got to be covered. They can handle the frost, but a hard freeze, not so much. So that's it for now. More to come. Thanks, everyone. Sorry, I did think of one more thing. Back to my videos, and my most recent video, which again got 80 views. I'm sure not all 80 people watched the whole thing, but it's very confusing to me that, and I'm very happy to get the views, but why would 80 people choose to watch that video, which I don't think was very great. It was basically me taking you for a ride in my car, but I've had other videos that I thought were better, had more interesting content that only got, 30 views. So go figure, that's YouTube for you. But again, not complaining, it's just confusing. But I was thrilled to see how many people wanted to watch me drive from the grocery store in Gargždai to home. So here's an example of what it's like here in Lithuania, or more to the point, living on the Baltic Sea. If you looked on the left-hand side or the west side of Lithuania, I'm near Klaipėda, and you can see the high temperature for today is +8 in Celsius, which isn't bad at all for this time of year. It's a nice day, but look at the rest of Lithuania. As you go towards the east, Vilnius is at 15, a couple of places at 17. Point is, this time of year, at least until about the middle of summer, quite often it's much colder here in Klaipėda, just because we're by the Baltic Sea. It's sort of the opposite in the wintertime. We're usually a bit warmer than the rest of Lithuania, but it is what it is. It's very similar to where I lived in Wisconsin on Lake Michigan. They have a saying there, cooler by the lake. Pretty much the same thing here, but quite a big difference in temperatures. So we got probably a little more than a centimeter of rain last night. That's about a ½ inch. Not a whole lot of rain, but you can see the one barrel is completely full, and the bigger barrel is maybe almost 3/4 full. So again, it doesn't take a whole lot of rain to get quite a lot of water. Pretty good haul of water. This small barrel is 50 liters. Obviously it's empty now. I'll show you the result of emptying it. And my big one, I think this is 250 liters. I still have a good quarter full in there, so I didn't even use it all. And I've managed to fill all of my plastic jugs. There are 24 of them there at 5 liters a piece. So quite a lot of water to get started with. Shouldn't really need it for about another month or so. We probably won't have anything here in the greenhouse till early May at the earliest. But it's good to have it on hand. You just never know. So this is the segment that I'm calling ATV Trail Fail. Last Saturday, it was a nice day, and because it's been so dry lately, we haven't had a whole lot of moisture or rain. I thought, you know what, let me go down this trail that I go down every once in a while. Maybe once a month I'll go down this trail, but I usually stop when I get to the river. But because it's been so dry, I thought, this is a good opportunity for me to go ahead and cross the river. It's not going to be muddy. The water should be pretty low. And there's been some logging out there that I kind of wanted to check out. I hadn't really seen. So that was the plan. I'll pick up here in a minute or two. And this really isn't an ATV trail fail as such. Not sure why I called it that, but it's just something that once I get on the other side of the river, it was a bit unexpected, a bit confusing. I'll cut to the chase. Potentially, I might have been trespassing. I was hesitating to even post this, because if I was trespassing on private property, I just posted the evidence that I had done so on the internet, or on YouTube, but more to come. And by the way, those really big, deep ruts that I just crossed obviously are not from an ATV. Obviously, they're from some farmer's tractor, but that'll be important in a minute or two. It'll make sense why I'm mentioning that. So here's the actual river crossing. Obviously, you can see it's not much of a river. Water's not very deep. No problems. Everything's going to plan so far. So let me try to set the stage for what's about to happen. I've always been told, and believe me, I checked before I even went out into these areas, but I've always been told that all of this area out here that I refer to as the forest, or more to the point on the other side of the river that I just crossed, is government or public land. Now, that doesn't mean that I should be able to go everywhere that I want with the ATV. You got to use your brain. I kind of stick to the trails and everything else. And by the way, these trails, you can clearly see that they're heavily used. That trail that I was on before I crossed the river, has been there for generations, long before ATVs were even invented. So it's not like that ATVs have created these trails or are blazing new trails across private land. But the other thing to mention is this whole area, whether it's in the fall, you'll see hundreds of people out here, collecting mushrooms, and throughout the summer collecting berries. So it's all implied that it is public land, not private. And this logging that you see happening here, I've been told, it's something that's negotiated with the government. If a logging company wants to do some logging, they have to apply for a permit and obviously pay a fee. And there's certain rules and regulations they have to follow. As ugly as the forest is when they're done doing it, that's what I've always been led to believe, that this is all public land. I'm not so sure about that now, but you can see coming up here, clearly somebody is trying to send a message, maybe to me or ATVs in general, or everybody, because they're piling up these sticks on the trail, clearly to deter people from getting through. So I'm definitely going to do some more checking, and I'm definitely going to stay out of this area until I find out for sure whether it's public land or private land. But if it does turn out to be private land, I do apologize to the landowner. But here's a thought: post a sign that says "No trespassing," or a picture of an ATV with a red slash through it, or something else, because piling up these piles of sticks on the trail that you've seen me cross here in the past 30, 45 seconds. If it's not stopping me, an old man on a Chinese ATV, it's not going to stop a bunch of 20-year-old kids on a big Polaris or a Can-Am. Uh, the sticks are just a nuisance. I just roll right over them. But again, if it turns out that this is private land, I do apologize to the landowner. And until I find out for sure, I'll stay out of there. And here I'm back onto what is for sure public roads, safe here. But I did a little more thinking on this, and I really think that whoever's putting those sticks on the trail, I think it's bird watchers who don't like the noise of ATV. No, this is not mineral water. It's just a recycled bottle. But what's in it is actually birch sap. Here in Lithuania, a lot of people think there's health benefits to drinking birch sap. Obviously, it's the sap from a birch tree, similar to what we do in Wisconsin with maple sap. The big difference is it doesn't get boiled down to syrup. People just drink it. I'm not sure if there's health benefits, but I don't think it's going to hurt you, and I like to drink it. So, like I always say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. And here's actually one of my other neighbors going out to check the buckets on the birch tree to bring in some birch sap. And yes, I did remember to cover my hydrangeas and magnolia tree for the cold weather this weekend.